Hi there, dear followers, and in this video I'm gonna cover everything about model contracts. So, I'm gonna give you 5 signs when it's better not to sign a model contract. Maybe it's better to wait or change conditions or even to find another agency. So first sign is when the duration is way too long. For example, if they're giving you 5-year contract or 4-year contract, I think it's a bit too long for a model career, because maybe you're gonna change it, maybe you're not gonna work in this country. So I think it's always better to start with a shorter contract. Maybe for new phase, when they're investing lots of time and building portfolio, it's okay to sign for 2-3 years, but for professional model who already has her portfolio, snaps and so on, I think it's better to sign for 1 year and just see how it goes. Secondly, don't sign if agency takes more than 20% for their services. For example, 30-40%, even one time I saw even 50%, that's way too much. Usually, if it's mother agency, they're taking 10% for all the income you earning abroad and 20% income when you're working inside the country. So don't sign if it's more than 20%, because yeah, it's your income and you shouldn't give it away, you know, that easily. Thirdly, don't sign a contract if you see in contract so many penalties for models. For example, if you break something in a model apartment, you're paying, I don't know, $500. For example, if you're not showing on time, like 30 minutes, if you're 30 minutes late for a shooting, you're also paying penalty. If you, I don't know, not showing up on a casting. Once I even saw in my contract penalty 1,000 euros for termination of the contract from my side. So there are a lot of different tricks which agency can use, you know, to get your money, but it's better when there are no penalties for model, because we are all humans and modeling is not a slavery, of course, and you're allowed not to show up on time, you're allowed to be late for 5-10 minutes, you're allowed to skip job if you are sick, and you don't need to pay that big amount of money if you decide to switch the agency. So please do avoid any penalties and any fees in your contract. Maybe it's okay to speak about it and ask to change something in your contract. It's not always that you need to find immediately new agency. Maybe just talk it out about your contract and change the, I don't know, 1 or 2 conditions. Fourthly, I highly recommend not to sign a contract where there is not even a written word about how a model can determine a contract. This is the most important point. I think all the rest, yeah, of course, also very important, but this one is like, I don't know, red flag. The reddest flag from all the red flags, because you need this freedom to change your mind, to switch to the agency. Maybe they're not treating you right, maybe they're not giving you enough of castings or jobs, or I don't know, they're cheating on you, like paying less, for example. So you need to have this freedom to stop this contract, to then to switch to another agency, because as I said before, modeling and model contracts are not a slavery. It's like the most important thing. Always read it carefully and read it a couple of times. Even you can advise, you can consult with your lawyer about this contract. And the last one. Please read careful if all the images rights belong to the agency if the contract is over. Because, okay, you're working with this agency 1 year, you're not really happy, and then you switch to another one, but still, the first agency can use all your pictures, video material on their site, for example, on their social networks, and it can cause a problem because the new agency wouldn't like it at all. So just be careful and read out images right belongs to the agency or they're giving away all the rights to you. So this is pretty much it. If you have any questions, just write it below in the comments. I would be really happy and glad to answer them all. Also have my amazing online posing course where you can boost your confidence, your body language, your body movements to the very next level and create really cool content. And it's really useful for all the models out there to level up their posing and book more shootings and more jobs. So please check it. I left the link on my posing course in the description below, and please don't forget to like this video and subscribe on my channel. Have a nice day!